Hey, good morning, guys. It's Monday. Yeah, I put on a shirt today. Want to look a little decent and get ready for our math lesson today. So today I want to talk about what Mr. Gusty's talking about. It's called the distance formula theory. And it teeters off the Pythagorean theorem. And if you're still stuck with the Pythagorean theorem, you're going to have to go back and look at the Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. This follows the same line, and you heard Mr. Gusty say it a moment ago in the engineering field. You need to know this information in order to find the distance in a graphical piece. It's very important to learn it. If you get involved with astronomy and stuff like that, and you need to find the distance, you're going to need to learn how to do this using a graph. And so I went ahead and I took out my graph paper because I like to do things in hand. And I want to make sure that I'm doing everything that I should be doing. So today, the new formula is distance, right? Distance equals the square root of two pieces, which you heard Mr. Gusty said, x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, like that. All right, so you got that. And once you get that formula down, now you're gonna have to figure out all the pieces. Now remember what I told you, when you're given a point on a line, the point is very important because that's what's going to tell us what to do. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create some points following what Mr. Gusty said, just to practice, just so we can see. So again, we're going to use the first one, which is 3 comma negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put the first one, which is 3 comma negative 4 right there. So that's my first point. Now don't forget, you want to label your x-axes and your y-axes. This way they're there. You can use colored pencil if you have them. I have them. I'm going to use them in a minute, but I'm just doing my work first. So we got that, right? So now that's my first point, right? My second point that I'm going to put down. Again, I'm going to just follow along with what I saw Mr. Gusty say, and it's important that you take step by step. What step by step means is that every time you do something, you go down and you write it into your head. You write it down, you write it into your head. And why do I like to do that? Because that helps me remember a lot of the activity that's going on. I don't want to make the mistake and do the stuff too quickly, and then all of a sudden we are sitting here with the same answer, which is no answer. No, that's not the idea. The idea is to be able to translate and get down all the information that we have. So my second point is going to be 6 comma 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 6 comma 0, 6 comma 0. I want to make it simple, so there it is. So there's my 2 points. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find the distance, which the distance is translated as the hypotenuse. And the hypotenuse, as you're going to learn, is the distance between 2 points. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop my right angle. I'm going to drop my straight angle down. Excuse me for 1 second, because I'm going to do some coloring for you so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So there's my first one, and here's my second one. So, and remember, if I do this like this, I now see the right triangle. That's where I put the angle over it. So, and I identified it. Now, any angle opposite of that, or any line opposite of that, is known as the hypotenuse. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw my hypotenuse for a second. And then we're going to find out what the distance is. So I'm going to put D there for the temporary. So there it is. So so we see that. So that's the hypotenuse. And what you're going to notice is that when I go ahead and I start to do the formula, I'm going to determine that my rate of change and my all that good stuff happens on this piece of paper. So let's begin. So again, I have my points 3 comma negative 4 and 6 comma 0. Underneath it, I want to just highlight it. I can push it to the side. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that 3 comma negative 4 and 6 comma 0. So I'm going to go ahead and do it like that. Once I do it like that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put X, Y, X, Y. Yeah, okay, it's going to take me a little time. Okay, I'm going to label it X1, Y1, X2, Y2. So I have that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start to do the work. Well, let's plug them in. So distance equals the square root of, which X2 is 6, minus 3 squared plus y2, which is 0, minus 4. Now it's minus 4. So don't forget, minus 4. I'll put a bracket around that like that so you can see that. Okay, minus 4, right? So now that I have that, so now I have to have my changes. So my distance, or my change, 6 minus 3, you guys already know, which is 3. And we're going to keep the square point on top of that. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the same thing. I'm going to 0 minus 4. It turns out to be 4 squared. So it ends up looking like this, right? So you got your next step. Now, my next step after that is go ahead and start to square. What is 3 times 3? Well, obviously 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. So I'm going to rewrite this again as distance equals the square root of 9 plus 16. You guys know what the answer of that is. This 9 plus 16 is 25. So what is the square root of 25? D. And the answer is square root. What number times itself, that's what we ask when we do square, what number times itself equals 25? And the answer is, right, 5. Good. So D equals 5. And you get your answer. So your hypotenuse in this case is 5. And I love how this translated into this excellent way of doing it. So x1 and y1 are just a particular point on my graph. And let's say that I have another point which is in y2 comma y2 comma y1, and we're going to have them plug that in. So there's many different ways of looking at this. I hope you found this interesting and you saw how I applied my graph to my formula. A little different than what Mr. Augusti said, because I want to make sure that you clearly understand this is important, because you're going to need to do this on your HRW. So after you're done with this, log into myhrw.com and go ahead and do the assignment for today that we have up there. If you have any questions, you know to get in touch with me or Mr. Augusti. Have a great Monday. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.